Hello, jewels of inestimable value. The moment you stop caring what others think is the moment you start living on your terms. Sigma females have reached this pivotal point where they've shed the unnecessary burden of others' opinions like dead weight. They're no longer interested in playing by the rules of a society that demands conformity at the cost of individuality. Instead, they've chosen a path that's unapologetically their own, where the need for external validation is replaced by an unyielding commitment to authenticity. In a world that's constantly trying to mold them, Sigma females have mastered the art of not giving a damn, and that in itself is their greatest power. If you're wondering why they've stopped caring about what you think, get ready, because the truth might just leave you speechless. Number 1. Most people don't think, they simply parrot what they've been told. Sigma females have a keen awareness that most people aren't actually thinking. They're just echoing what they've heard. In a world filled with loud opinions and half-baked ideas, it's all too common for people to adopt beliefs without ever questioning them. They simply repeat what they've been told, taking comfort in the safety of the crowd, never bothering to dig deeper or challenge the status quo. But Sigma females see right through this. They recognize that the majority of opinions floating around are as shallow as a puddle after rain. So why would they care about what anyone thinks when they know those thoughts aren't even original? It's like listening to a scratched record play the same tired tune over and over. Sigma females are too sharp, too aware, to let their lives be influenced by the unthinking masses. They've realized that most people's judgments are just background noise, unremarkable and inconsequential. Once they grasp this, they're liberated, moving through life with a clarity that few others possess. They refuse to be swayed by opinions that are nothing more than echoes of someone else's thoughts, choosing instead to carve out their own path, guided by their own independent mind. Number 2, they refuse to wear masks in a masquerade society. Sigma females don't waste their time trying to fit into a mold that was never made for them. They refuse to play the exhausting game of pretending to be someone they're not just to meet society's expectations. In a world that constantly pressures people to conform, to blend in, or to become something they're not, Sigma females stand out by staying true to who they are. They've realized that pretending to be someone else is not only draining but also a betrayal of their own identity. It's like wearing a mask that never quite fits right, uncomfortable and stifling. Sigma females have no interest in living their lives according to someone else's script. They know that the minute they start acting like someone they're not, they lose the essence of what makes them unique. So, they stay true to themselves, unapologetically. They don't care about bending to the whims of others because they know that authenticity is the only thing worth holding on to. The beauty of a Sigma female lies in her ability to walk her own path, no matter how unconventional it might be. She doesn't need to seek approval or validation because she's already comfortable in her own skin. And that confidence, that refusal to be anything but herself, is what makes her so captivating. The world might try to mold her, but she's already decided. She won't be anyone but who she truly is. Number 3. The opinions of the majority are as meaningful as a whisper in a storm. Sigma females have come to understand a profound truth. Most people's opinions have absolutely no bearing on their lives. The world is full of noise, constant chatter from people who think their views should matter to everyone else. But Sigma females see it differently. They know that the opinions of others are like gusts of wind, fleeting and irrelevant, quickly passing and forgotten. They've realized that whether someone likes them, approves of their choices, or thinks they should be doing something differently, it doesn't change anything about their reality. What someone else thinks of them doesn't put food on their table, doesn't help them sleep at night, and certainly doesn't get them any closer to their goals. Most people are so caught up in what others think that they end up living lives dictated by external pressures rather than their own desires. But Sigma females refuse to be held hostage by such trivialities. They've learned to focus on what truly matters, their own growth, happiness, and success. The outside world can keep its opinions. It doesn't affect the direction they're heading. Sigma females don't waste time worrying about whether they're liked or if they're meeting someone else's expectations. They know that at the end of the day, The only opinions that truly matter are their own. It's this unwavering focus on their own path, untouched by the judgments of others, that allows them to live life with a freedom most people never achieve. They move through life unbothered, knowing that the majority of people's opinions are as meaningless as background noise in a busy city. Number 4, what others mistake for arrogance is just unshakable confidence. People often misjudge Sigma females, mistaking their quiet confidence for arrogance. When someone meets a Sigma female for the first time, they might see her as aloof, distant, or even full of herself. But that's because Sigma females don't feel the need to prove themselves to anyone. They don't go out of their way to make others comfortable or to fit into someone else's idea of what they should be. They know their worth and they aren't going to apologize for it. This self-assuredness can be intimidating to those who aren't used to encountering someone so at ease with themselves. To many, confidence that doesn't seek approval can easily be misunderstood as arrogance. But that's just the surface level. Once people get to know a Sigma female, they quickly realize that what they initially took for arrogance is actually just a deep sense of self-respect. She's not trying to impress anyone because she's already impressed with herself. She knows who she is, what she wants, and where she's going. Sigma females don't waste time on superficial interactions or trying to win over everyone they meet. They'd rather be misunderstood than compromise who they are. And that's what sets them apart. They're not driven by a need for external validation, and they're not here to play by anyone else's rules. This unwavering confidence can make others uncomfortable at first, but it's also what makes them so compelling. Once you break through the initial layer of perceived arrogance, you discover someone who's deeply authentic, thoughtful, and fiercely independent. And that's when you realize that a Sigma female's confidence isn't arrogance. It's just her unapologetically being herself. Number 5, they see through the charade of caring about trivialities. Sigma females have a knack for seeing through the nonsense that most people get caught up in. While others are busy stressing over things that have no real importance, Sigma females keep their focus sharp and clear. They've learned to cut through the noise and recognize what truly matters in life. They don't get lost in the endless cycle of worrying about trivial things like what others think of their choices or how they measure up to society's expectations. Most people spend their energy caring about things that, in the grand scheme of things, don't matter at all. They're worried about keeping up appearances, fitting in, or following the latest trends. But Sigma females see these concerns for what they are: distractions. They've realized that investing time and energy into things that don't bring real value or meaning is pointless. So they don't. Instead, they focus on what actually moves the needle in their lives: personal growth, meaningful relationships, and goals that align with their true selves. This ability to prioritize what's important and ignore the rest is what gives Sigma females their edge. They don't get caught up in the superficial dramas that consume so many others. They've mastered the art of letting go of the unimportant and focusing on what really counts. By not sweating the small stuff, they free up their time and energy to invest in things that actually matter to them. This clarity of purpose and refusal to care about the trivialities of life is what sets them apart and allows them to live with a sense of freedom and fulfillment that few others experience. Number 6. Time spent worrying is like burning daylight. It's a one-way ticket to nowhere. Sigma females understand that time is one of the most valuable resources they have, and they refuse to waste it on something as pointless as worrying. They've figured out that worrying doesn't solve problems. It only drains energy and distracts from what really matters. When most people get stuck in cycles of anxiety, fretting over things they can't control, Sigma females are already 2 steps ahead, using that same time to actually make progress. Worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but gets you nowhere. Sigma females know this all too well. They've seen how people let worry paralyze them, preventing them from taking action or thinking clearly. Instead of falling into that trap, Sigma females choose to focus on what they can control and leave the rest behind. They understand that worrying about the future or stressing over the past is just wasted time. Time that could be better spent on something productive, meaningful, or even just enjoyable. This mindset allows them to move through life with a sense of calm and purpose that others might envy. By refusing to let worry take up space in their minds, Sigma females free themselves to live in the moment and focus on what really matters. They know that every minute spent worrying is a minute they'll never get back, so they choose to invest their time wisely. It's this ability to let go of unnecessary stress and stay focused on what's important that keeps Sigma females on their path, moving forward with confidence and clarity while others are still stuck in their own heads. Number 7. They cherish authenticity like a rare gem, never trading it for approval. Sigma females place a high value on authenticity, far above the fleeting approval of others. In a world where people often change themselves to fit in or gain acceptance, Sigma females stand firm in their commitment to being real. They've learned that chasing approval is like trying to catch the wind. It's elusive, exhausting, and ultimately unsatisfying. What matters to them is staying true to who they are, even if that means going against the grain. They aren't interested in putting on a show or pretending to be someone they're not just to make others comfortable. They'd rather be disliked for who they truly are than liked for a version of themselves that isn't real. This unwavering dedication to authenticity gives Sigma females a rare kind of freedom. They don't have to worry about keeping up appearances or living up to other people's expectations, because they're already living life on their own terms. By valuing authenticity over approval, Sigma females attract the right kind of people into their lives, the ones who appreciate them for who they really are. They don't need to seek validation from others because they've already validated themselves. This self-assurance is what makes them so compelling. They're not easily swayed by trends or opinions. Instead, they navigate the world with a deep sense of self-respect and integrity, knowing that the only approval they truly need is their own. In the end, Sigma females understand that authenticity isn't just a value, it's a way of life. It's what keeps them grounded, confident, and unafraid to walk their own path, even if it's a lonely one at times. And that, more than anything, is what sets them apart from the crowd. They know that in a world full of people trying to be something they're not, the greatest power lies in being exactly who they are. Number 8. Their indifference is their superpower. Sigma females have mastered the art of indifference, and it's one of their most formidable traits. They've realized that caring too much about what others think is a surefire way to let external forces dictate their happiness and direction. Instead of letting themselves be swayed by the opinions of others, they've chosen to remain emotionally detached from external validation. This isn't about being cold or unfeeling. It's about a conscious decision to not let others' views interfere with their sense of self. In a society where people often crave attention and approval, Sigma females stand out by embracing a quiet indifference. They don't need the constant reassurance or validation that others seek because they find their worth from within. This inner strength allows them to navigate through life with a rare sense of freedom and peace. They know that true contentment comes from within, not from the applause or criticism of others. This level of indifference doesn't mean they don't care about important matters. It means they've chosen to care only about what truly impacts their lives. By not getting bogged down by the superficial judgments and petty opinions that plague most people's lives, they maintain a clear focus on their personal goals and values. This detachment from the need for external approval gives them the space to be themselves without compromise. In essence, Sigma females use their indifference as a shield, protecting their inner world from the chaos of others' expectations. It's a deliberate and powerful choice that lets them live authentically and with purpose, unburdened by the weight of what others think. This self-possession is what allows them to thrive, untouched by the superficial judgments that so often derail others. In the end, Sigma females have stopped caring about what others think because they've realized it's a futile distraction from their true path. They see through the noise and superficial judgments, recognizing that genuine fulfillment comes from within, not from external validation. By valuing authenticity, focusing on what truly matters, and rejecting the need for approval, they carve out a space in their lives where they are free to be their truest selves. This clarity and self-assurance allow them to live with a sense of purpose and peace that many can only dream of. Sigma females embody the rare and powerful freedom of living unapologetically, and in doing so, they inspire others to find their own path to authenticity and self-fulfillment. If you found these insights into Sigma females fascinating, don't miss out on more content like this. Hit that subscribe button and join our community for fresh perspectives and in-depth discussions on topics that matter. Your support helps us keep bringing you the best content out there. Subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, Jules. See you in the next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.